Alright, welcome back to this very video. We are going to be applying our CSS style to the web page, to the web and to the HTML document we created in our previous tutorial, which was the layout of our page. So this time we are going to be using CSS to structure the layout of our page. Now, those of you that are actually new to web design, the word CSS may be kind of new to you. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. CSS are a collection of styles used to control the typography and the layout of our HTML document. Now, our HTML document is just to add content to our web page, while CSS is used to structure the content of our web page, the way we want our web page to look like. The beauty of our web page majorly depends on CSS document. CSS is a major part of web design. The beauty depends on it. The way you want your content to appear, all of them are the work of CSS. So it's used for structuring and arrangement of your web content. So we are going to be creating a CSS document. Now you can use your CSS to target specific elements, tags, ID and class selector. Now let me show you what we mean by a tag. This is a tag selector. If you want to target this body, maybe you want to give a style to your body, you have to target this word tag. This is the body tag, this is the header tag, close header tag, this is the header tag, close header tag. So when you want to affect the header, you want to start the header, you want to start the body tag, so you must target this very body tag. This is an ID selector, and when you want to target an ID, you target the name of the ID, which is this container header and all that. So there's another selector, which is the class selector. We've not created that one yet. Maybe in the course of our tutorial we'll create a class selector. You can use your HTML to target your class selector also. And there are three ways we can apply CSS document to our CSS style to our web page. One of it is inline CSS style. Inline CSS style is used to target a specific element within a web page. Maybe you have several paragraphs and you want to apply a CSS rule to just one of the paragraph, and you don't want that same style to affect the other paragraphs. So what you do is just that you use inline CSS style. When using inline CSS, it will affect just that element you target in a page. Then we have our internal CSS style. Internal CSS style is used to target all element within a web page. Where you want to affect just one single page on your website, you can use inline CSS. You can use internal CSS. But there's another CSS which is called external CSS file. This one is when you create another new file called a CSS file and you attach it to your HTML document. Now the beautiful thing about external CSS is that you can use just one style sheet across the whole of your website. You can use one style sheet to style the whole of your website. But in inline CSS, internal CSS, you have to use internal CSS for each page. But when you want to use one style sheet to control the whole page in your website, I suggest you use an external CSS style. So we are going to be creating an external CSS file for this to control the layout of our web page. Another thing, I want to introduce you to a modern CSS framework with an inbuilt responsiveness. It's faster, it's better, it involves less coding, it makes your website more responsive. That is the W3 CSS, which was created by the W3 school, one of the world's largest web development school. So I'm going to show you how you can download the W3 CSS file so you can attach it to your page. The beautiful thing about W3 CSS style is that most of the coding will be done for you. So this is a modern CSS framework, so you just need to call up the rules and it begins to apply. Simple to use, very easy to use, and it's fastest. So right about now we're going to be creating a style sheet for our layout. So we'll go to file and we'll go to new. We'll come to CSS. We are creating a CSS document, so we'll say create, and let's save this CSS document we just created. We'll go to file and you go to save. Here you save it with the name you want. Let's call it, since we're going to use it for our layout, let's call it layouts.css. Now look at the extension. The extension I put for this very file is CSS. That shows that it's a CSS document. But when you use an HTML extension, that means the document you are creating is an HTML. So take note of that. So you come to save as file type, you choose CSS, you save. Now layout the css has been created, so right about now we are going to start creating our rules, style rules, to shaping our page. Now when you are creating a style rule, make sure that the name you type is exactly the way it is in our HTML document. CSS is case sensitive, so if you use capital letter to type body here and in your document it is small letters, it will not work. So it has to be the same. So for our body, once you write your body, you open up a curly brace, use some distance, and you close the curly brace. Also within the curly brace is where you're going to call up our style rules. So we are going to call up the style rules to affect the margin of the body. So see, Dreamweaver have a default margin, so we are going to zero, for that purpose we're going to zero out the margin. I'm going to say padding, I'm going to say 0. Now we're going to say text align, I'm going to say center. That means all the text, any text that is placed on this web page will display on the center. So that's a say we've just created 3 style rules for the body. We place all the element to be the margin of the all element that we place in the body to be 0, and the padding to be 0. I will say the text, any text that is placed in the body tag, in the body should be center. So that's for the body tag. So we're going to create another style to affect the container, the ID. Now the reason why I put this hash sign here is to show that this style is to affect an ID selector. So it's an ID selector, so that's why we put an hash sign at the beginning. So take note of that when creating a style rule for an ID selector. It's you start with this hash. So for the ID selector, we're going to give it a width. So let's give it a width of 100%. And give it a height. Now you can give it a height of auto. When you give it a height of auto, it means that the more content you place on the page, the more it adjusts itself to the length of the content. So if you have more content on your page, you keep on adjusting. The more content you put, the more you adjust. You have the ability to adjust and compress according to the quantity of the content you put on your page. That's if we set it to auto. But we are going to give it our own. Let's give it 800 pixels, and let's set the margin, let's set the margin right to auto, on the margin left to auto also, on margin bottom, let's give it 20 pixels, margin top, let's give it 20 pixels also. Okay, that's our container. So we're going to create another rule for header, because after the container is header, open up the curly brace and close the curly brace. Within the curly brace, let's just give it a height. Let's give it a height of, let's say, 60 pixels. That's what we're going to create for the header. So let's create another style for the nav. Let's give it a height of 60 also, 60 pixels. You can give it the way you want it to. If you want your own to be bigger, so you can increase it. So the next ID we have on the page is page content. Let's give it a height of the page. Let's give it 600 pixels. And we have another ID which is called footer. Open a curly brace and let's give it a height. Let's say give it a height of 60 or so. Okay, let's save this CSS file we just create now. Save, and we'll come to our HTML document here. Nothing will happen, but we have to attach it. So for us to attach the document we just created to the web page, we'll come to this right hand corner which says that attach style sheet. Click here, you choose the style sheet you want to attach. It's our layer that CSS, so we click OK. You can see that it has been attached to our page now. So when we go to design view, you can see this is the header, this is the nav, this is the main content. You scroll down, this is the footer. But right now there's nothing on our web page, so it's still empty. We just structured our layout. So thanks for watching. Our next video we'll start creating our header and navigation bar. So don't forget to subscribe, comment and like. Please subscribe to my channel so you can get more videos.